Just keep saying it. And we also have Justin Lawler on our team.
He'll be up here in a minute. I was going to wait till he came up there.
Okay. Well, you got to wait till the band gets here. You give him an introduction.
What's been the biggest thing for you guys in terms of creating these turnovers? And it's always been kind of emphasis, but now you're getting.
Well, I'll continue to say that we've really emphasized it, and our players have, over the course of fall camp and the start of the season, they've seen the results. And of course, anytime you show results, it's easier to do. It's easier to buy into it, and that's just where we are. We've had some guys really mature and improve from their previous years in their career over last season, and they're making the plays when the opportunity presents itself.
How many plays was Jordan on this game?
I think it was around 70 plays. Well, in today's football, players expect to play. They expect to play a lot of plays. I would rather not have him play 70 plays. I would rather not have him play 100 plays 2 weeks ago. But he's a guy that, whenever you try to take him out, you almost got to fight him. So as a matter of fact, that there was a couple times early in the game that I wanted to roll him, and he begged me, Coach, just let me go one more series before you roll me. So I did that, and then sometimes, as a coordinator, I kind of leave him and I go to the whole defense, and I leave him to his own, devices, which is sometimes bad. He ends up playing 100 plays.
How hard is that for you, though? You want to protect his long-term interest and get some rest for him, but then on the other hand, he's got this competitive nature, never wants to come off the field. How hard is that choice for you?
Well, I know that's how I was when I was young and had a lot of energy. But, for me, I just have, like I said earlier, I just have to, and Coach Morris has scolded me about this, but I just have to make sure that I understand we got to get guys like Christian Davis and Eric Sutton, get those guys some opportunities, because it's a long season, and you want to make sure that those guys get some opportunities in games, in crucial games, at certain points in the game where we can trust them to go out. And Jordan is performing well. And when you have a guy, one of your better players, performing and making plays, it's really hard to pull him off that. It's a running back. I mean, this guy just had a big, long run, and he's running well. Do you take the ball out of his hands, or you keep letting him go? And that's kind of the same way I look at it at times.
Gentry has played up front after missing a lot of time in camp, and this week you've got him listed on the depth chart now. Where is he in terms of his conditioning and just how much he's contributed to your defensive front?
Actually, I was just talking to Coach Wyatt about Mason, and we both agreed that we're going to play Mason more, because he's continued to improve. And even though he's a little bit nicked up earlier in the season, early in fall camp, but he's just gotten better and better each practice, and making us realize, because he's big and he takes up a lot of space, but he's shown to be even more agile. And we just got to find a place, or continue to find places to get him on the field, because, like I said, he's shown to really be an improved player. He's made a lot more plays than he had in the past. So we're excited about being able to get him even more reps. Well, even when Nick was healthy, having an opportunity to get Mike some quality reps was good, because we saw, the kids he comes from a good high school, he's well coached, he's a strong physical kid. It's important to him, and sometimes at certain positions you're a little bit hesitant about putting a freshman out there, but at defensive end, and we think with the guys, with the older guys that he has in his position group, he's going to be fine. He's done a good job of picking things up. He's done a good job of studying and preparing himself to step into that role, and we're excited about what he'll continue to bring as he gets better. I'll tell you what, Trevon Boykin gave me nightmares last year. I kind of want to get past that. But Kenny is a really good player, and I hadn't played against him, but some of our players have, and he has really high regard from the guys on our team. But when you watch him on video, he seems that he's playing well right now. Whenever there's a quarterback who presents a challenge, who can run the football, defensively, you got to make sure that you account for that, and that's kind of what he is. He gets the ball out extremely quick. He has capable targets. You look at the receivers, and watching TCU over the years, stepping away from him just a little bit, they've never had the taller receivers on the outside. And I think those guys have really, as I've watched them go through the season, they've given him an incredible advantage to be able to throw the ball up to those guys. And you hadn't necessarily seen that in a TCU offense. They do a lot of things with number 25, do a lot of things with the running backs. All those different weapons have really helped him, and I think as he continues in their offense, he's going to be a challenge for a lot of defenses, and certainly will be one for us this weekend.
You look at Jordan and Horace, senior and sophomore, are both of those guys benefiting from kind of young guys pushing the older players and the older guys to make sure
I think, Coach Morris has remarked about this a couple times, is that we have a really good mix of young guys who are in Christian Davis, and I'm just talking about at the cornerback position, and Christian Davis and Eric Sutton, who are really good young players. And then we have some older guys in Jordan and Horace who are at the top of their games, and they have the fortune of having experience. And I think it's really good for those young guys with their youth and big time speed, have been able to push those older guys with their experience and playing the game and playing in college football games. What I have to continue to do as a coach is keep growing the Christian Davises and the Eric Suttons so that push will continue.
How would you evaluate your linebackers' performance for 3 games?
Oh man, those guys. Anthony Roan has really been playing lights out so far this season, and that was one of the challenges that we placed before him, is that you're a really good practice player and you do a great job in practice, but what we need from you this season is for you to take those smarts, take that ability to be able to communicate, to get us all lined up, to make plays, to make tackles in space, take that from the practice field, which he's been a great practice player, take that from the practice field to the game field. And he's done that. And, as you watch him play so far this season, he's really been not a pleasant surprise, but it's been really fun to watch him because, like I said, we've seen him do it at practice, but now he's starting to carry it over into the games.
What concerns you most about TCU's offense?
Well, I think that Kenny's ability to be able to leave the pocket and run, him to be able to scramble and make plays with his feet, big challenge. The fact that they have a lot of speed on the edges, they challenge you with many different formations, and the fact that Doug Meacham and I worked together at Oklahoma State, I just remember all the things that they did back in those days, and they just present incredible challenges for defenses in terms of getting lined up, and then they push the tempo, which we deal with that in our offense every day, but tempo and formations is something that we see from our offense. But when you get into a game, that's the challenge of playing with a lot of young guys, is that they have to make sure that we get lined up and we get our checks. One thing we've tried to do in that regard is be able to keep the plan simple, so that our guys are calm and they're able to make the checks and they're able to get lined up regardless of the speed that the offense presents. But that's the biggest thing, is Kenny's ability to be able to run their multiple formations, and then the speed, the tempo at which they attack you.
When you go against a team that's got a coach that you've worked with in the past and you know each other so well, is there a temptation to add extra wrinkles or a lot of disguises to try to change up what he knows about you?
Well, yes. Yes, and really, what I like to do is I like to go to his house and steal his playbook, but I don't. He won't give me his address. But no, seriously, because of the fact that he knows, and we've had extensive talks about this. I love this pressure, and he's told me, well, I don't like when people do this to me. Well, of course, we're both going to try to step out of that box. To not give the advantage to the things we've said many years ago. But I'd still like to figure out where he lives and get that playbook.